Hi, friend. You're gonna check out what I purchased from the most recent Sephora Welcome Back Sale and some other favorites that I still use from sales past. Then please keep on watching. Hi, I'm Alicia. If it's your first time here, thank you so much for clicking on my video. And if you're returning, well, thank you for visiting me again. KINKYSWEAT stands for my kinky hair and sweat life. I'm a fitness professional who loves things, all movement and beauty. If you want to check out what I do in between the makeups, you can head over to my Instagram. Trying some new hairstyles, fam. I got 2 poofs and a braid off the bottom. And I'm using the headband to conceal the fact that the sides are not brushed to their flat potential. It got a little fluff, you know, so I accentuated the fluff here, accentuated some fluff here, you know, some gel. I'm trying, really trying. I thought I'll share some of the items I bought from the Welcome Back sale. Have to say, I feel that I've purchased several items from this quarantine that I've been using thoroughly and enjoying, so I wanted to just kind of lay back, not go crazy on the sale, and take the opportunity to maybe purchase items that I had my eye on for quite some time, like the Patrick Top blushes. I really tried, fam, to stay away from those because I have so many cheek products, as I know you probably do as well. I've just heard non-stop good things about these Patrick Top blushes, so I picked up 2. I thought that was reasonable. I've heard time and time again that for some, excuse me, Mr. Carr, that once you've tried 1 or 2, you have to have all of them. You know, I don't know if that will happen. I don't know if I'll purchase the remaining 2, but we shall see. I also picked up another Hourglass eye primer, their Veil primer. I've been using this for months and I'm almost done with the tube that I purchased originally from Hourglass. Thoroughly impressed by that formula. I just love it for the everyday looks that could use a longevity primer and just allows for the blend to be smooth and seamless. I also picked up the Benefit Microfilling pen in medium brown. You saw me use this in the makeup for masks video. I've been enjoying this, so I thought I would demo this on the video so you can see it in action. And then of course we have the Patrick Top blushes. I picked up, do we know her? She's So L.A. The bronze or the brown bronze and the more coral shade. I believe there's more pink shade and a more plum shade. Those are intriguing, I have to say. So let's do this, fam. We'll go through the items that I purchased. I'll go through quickly the cost, the product descriptions, and yeah, this is like a nice get ready with me chatty whatever. And as I said at the beginning, going over a lot of the products that I will use on my fish, some favorites that I've been using for the past few months and been enjoying. So why don't you come in a little closer? That's enough. I always lie, it's never enough. I had a makeup class this afternoon, so I wiped off the shadow. What is going on? The shadow I had and kind of kept the mascara. So to quickly say, this is the Pat McGrath Dark Star mascara, and then I applied the Hourglass Unlocked on my bottom lashes. Quite enjoying the Unlocked mascara that I did purchase actually from Hourglass with the At Night blush, and it's a tubing mascara and it holds better on my lower lashes, doesn't smudge, doesn't transfer. Crazy about it on my top lashes. So Dark Star on the top, Unlocked on the bottom. For complexion, I have to say I've been enjoying the Hourglass Airbrush Vanish Concealer, a hit ever since I believe it released January 2020. I've been using Dune for my blemishes. I actually do a cocktail, you know, depending on how I feel. A cocktail between Dune Hourglass and the Dior Correct in 3N. So I mix those 2 colors together. So you see the Dior is a little more neutral. Dune is a little warmer. And although I do wear my foundation over Dune, it cancels out some of the warmth. So I don't get too worried about it, but I mix these 2 together. I'm going to use my pat brush and I stamp it on the portions that need the coverage. I very much well can just use this concealer combination on my whole face because the Dior has been marketed for all over use, whether you want to use it as an all over face shade or to use it just to conceal. And for the spots that are really just tough, I use my BK Beauty 205 a little bit with the Hourglass and then over those portions, those blemishes, don't want to give me problems. And I enjoy using the synthetic brush because synthetic fibers don't absorb as much product as natural fibers do, will therefore lead to more coverage on the fish. And I need more coverage on these dots, okay? I know they're self-inflicted, I know. They gotta go. Okay, they gotta go. I also love the angle of the brush to apply around my nostrils. A good finger tap to finalize the blend is always welcomed. So that's kind of my prep that I've been doing. So for foundation though, I realized that my Pat McGrath Skin Fetish foundation is in my medicine cabinet, but I will show you the Giorgio Armani Luminous Silk. These were sent through PR. Thank you to Rona from Armani Beauty. So she sent me 2 shades, 7.75 and 7. 7 you can see is more neutral, and the 7.75 there's like, you know, some warmth in there. I actually combined the two because the 7 on its own can look a little drab on me because it's a true neutral tone, but I add in the 7.75 for a little bit of a golden hue. I'm not sure if you can see, so on top of that you can just tell how I'm avoiding the word orange because orange sounds terrible, but that's kind of what it looks like. Mixed together, however, we're doing good. Giorgio Armani Luminous Silk is not a new foundation whatsoever. BK Beauty 101, baby. I haven't used it in quite some time because the influx of new foundations that have been overwhelming our makeup collections for the last few years have prevented me from going back to Luminous Silk. I also at the time did not really appreciate makeup like the way I do now. I was not as knowledgeable and hip to a lot of the benefits that the Luminous Silk has. I just didn't understand it, you know? After trying all the foundations that I have, I finally realized the lightness of the Luminous Silk, the fact that it looks like skin but still presents beautiful coverage. The texture is very lightweight and seamless. It blends like a dream. I mean, my skin looks fabulous. And I love this shade combination. I would say though, if you were in the market for this foundation, words, grammar, if you're around my skin tone, I would go with 7 simply because I feel you could warm the face back up with your favorite bronzer. To go from golden to neutral is tougher, I feel. And if you happen to have a concealer that might be warmer than 7 from Luminous Silk, you could probably use the concealer, mix it with the foundation to manipulate the undertone a little bit better. And I love how it dries down too. It doesn't dry down matte because that's the Power Fabric formula. I feel is a lot more matte than the Luminous Silk. It's like that perfect satin natural dry down. It still has a little bit of tack, but it's not overwhelming. It's just a nice feel on the skin. It still has a little bit of bounce. It's so nice. I really love the color. I love combining both, but again, 7 I feel you should go with if you're around my skin tone and my undertone, and I'm like neutral, a little bit of golden, just a little bit. Concealer, the Luminous Silk from Armani as well, 5.75. Also kindly included in that PR package. Very lightweight, doesn't have as much coverage as the Power Fabric. However, I do appreciate the texture. It's creamy, but it does exude or lend that luminosity under the eyes, which I appreciate, okay? Because these under eyes be looking drab sometimes, and it helps when the formula does have a soft focus finish to it, you know? And while I understand I might not have the most severely darkened under eye circles, I do feel a formula that bounces light back at you, that reflects, is a little more helpful than being full coverage, because full coverage textures can be tricky under the eyes since the under eyes tend to be drier than the rest of your face, and more pigmented textures could be a little more matte and finish, a little more drying. That's why I feel people love Pat McGrath's concealer, because it has that full coverage but it's not so dry and matte. The Luminous Silk does not have the same amount of coverage, but I feel it reflects light and it has, again, that nice radiant look to it. that gives the illusion that it's covering your circles. It might not be covering as much as like the hourglass in the pat. That's kind of how I feel about the Shiseido as well. You know what I'm saying? This powder is not sold at Sephora, but the Suku, my goodness me. I've been using the Suku loose powder just non-stop, fam. I mean, speak about lightweight and just airy. It feels like silk, like the actual material in powder form. But if I wanted to stay in the Sephora realm, Pat's loose powder, I absolutely love and adore. Even more so her pressed powder. I actually have it here next to me. I could have just used that, but I'm in the habit of using the Suku. The moment setting my eyes comes up in the routine, I just reach for the Suku. But the Pat McGrath pressed powder in both medium, which I think recently got restocked. It's a popular one. The light I use for under the eyes. So I tap a little bit of that. The light pressed powder is more air spun than the Charlotte Tilbury airbrush finish pressed powder. I believe the pat has a little more radiance as well. It just melts into the skin. It's just so beautiful. Just a little more, just a little more. I'm gonna leave the skin a little tacky because I feel that's ideal for the portrait. I do, however, want to roll into these brows. As you know, I have been using the Benefit Goof Proof brow pencil for years, interchangeably using it with the Gimme Brow. I don't use this as often simply because I forget to use it, but I actually really love the fluff effect. You know what I mean? Let's spoolie these brows so you could see this microfiling pen in action. I have the shade medium brown. Quickly, hold on. Alicia, you say you're gonna do product details and pricing. Now the welcome back sale, I believe it was spend 75, save, spend 75, get 15 off, spend 100, get 20 off. So I spent a little over 100, got the 20 off. Yes. The Benefit Micro, oh my gosh, 3 of the shades are sold out. Wow. $25, a waterproof, smudge-proof ink pen with a 3-prong tip that effortlessly creates microfine hair-like strokes. I do agree with those claims. One of our squad members has said that she purchased the darkest shade that didn't show up on her. So don't feel like because most of them are sold out that you have to run and get this. But I got it because I saw, well, I was intrigued by this. You see this 3-prong type of a gig? And, well, that was a bad one. So it has these strokes, these hair-like strokes, and you let it set. So I'm gonna let that set. I'm gonna go back to drawing my little hairs. I just go bloop, bloop, bloop. Now, I don't want it to be too inky because I feel that gives me a little freedom to mess up. You know what I'm saying? When I get to the tail, these parts of my brow that are empty, that's when I'll use the prongs and then go in with the fake hairs. I think it's very easy to use, and I was actually quite surprised and pleasantly so to discover that it was this inky type of formula. But once it's on there, it stays. So this is good to know if you're gonna be out and it's humid. The brow hairs will stay, fam. This side is a little funny, so you see I have to fill this up. So go bloop, bloop. Yeah, it's not super dark, but I kind of like that. I feel it adds nice volume and also creates that fluffy effect without me having to rely on my goof proof pencil, which does offer a more intense brow look simply because it's a pencil and this is a little softer. So that's with the microfiling pen. I really like it. I like it. Again, I'm not saying you gotta rush and buy it, especially if you don't wear your brows in this way. If you rather just pencil them in, because you too can create a soft look with the pencil. But I think I just like doing this. Like, I like using the 3-pronger. It's also very satisfying to draw in and fill in. See that? I like how it fills up this part of my tail. It gives it a little more fluff and boom. And that's just with the microfiling pen. I like it. I might have to get another one actually. See here how it's not as even? If that's the case, then I'll go in with my goof proof brush this up just so I can see what I'm doing. And then just, you know, kind of stroke it through, even it out a little bit more. Yeah, so that's a little better. Like, not a lot, not a lot. I could have left it alone. This is if you really want your brows to look super structured and have a little bit of that cut underneath. I find it's good without, but just so that you can see. And using the microfiling pen does add a little bit of structure. I think the ink, when it dries down, produces that a little bit of a hold. I mean, I don't think the same hold as the Gimme Brow gel, but you know, it's some's there. Something's there for sure. These Project Tile blushes. Okay, let me get my phone. Ooh, it's hot. I am hot. I believe the blushes came with lipsticks as well. This was a release with the, here it is, the Major Beauty Headlines Matte Suede Lipstick. This is the Major Beauty Headlines Double Take Creme and Powder Blush. Comes in 4 duos, each retail for $34. A compact with 2 complementary blush formulas that give you full, bold color, granted to turn heads. I'm very happy that I saw his little IG tutorial, because just from seeing the duo, I assume that you apply the cream first and the powder after. You, in fact, apply the powder first and the cream after. Patented biomimetic pigments mirror the skin's ceramide structure, ensuring adhesion, true color, and the most natural finish. Micronized pigments provide even flawless payoff, a luminous finish, and extended wear. Creamy emollient base flawlessly blends into skin, provides a dewy finish, and locks in color for extended wear. I kept the box because I think it's just so pretty. And quickly to say, the cream weighs in at 6 grams and the powder 4 grams, 10 grams total. That's a lot of product. 12 months suggested shelf life for expiration, and it is made in the USA. Here's the actual compact. It's like this pink chrome. You got Patrick Ta. You got the label on the back. I do appreciate that the color stamp is on the box, but there's nothing to indicate on the actual compact, which is fine. I could just turn it around and see what it is. You got She's So L.A. on the back here. This is the more bronzy color, but I want to give you the right color description provided by Patrick Ta. It's actually described as a bronzed nude. It is a snap closure, and here you have the cream on the top with its own plastic flap and the powder at the bottom. The cream is actually very emollient. It's like an in-between of the Fenty. Well, actually, I have to say, the cream feels very much like the Fenty cream blushes. Not as creamy as the Tower 28. The Tower 28 has a little bit of tightness to it, which I like better. And this does not dry down, or it didn't dry down on me when I played with it a few days ago. Loud. The second one we got here is Do We Know Her? And this duo is described to be, let's see here, peachy coral. And here we have the peachy coral. Let's take a look at the cream part of the duo. Very pretty. The powder feels very silky smooth, and I love the brand embossing on there. That's quite pretty. So the overall compact and the optics of the product is stunning, I feel. I really love this color for his packaging. You know we're gonna do one side She's So L.A. and the other side Do We Know Her? I mean, that's what we gotta do. He powdered first. I'm gonna take a little bit of the bronze nude and tap that on the, I don't even know, cheeks and a little bit of the cheekbones. I'm gonna take it a little bit high. I also could have done this more as in place of a contour or even a bronzer, but I don't know, I wanted to wear it like a blush since it is you know, marketed as a blush. Then he used a sponge to pick up the cream, tap tap tap, so that's a little bit of the cream, and dabbed over the powder. I think that's very pretty. So I've already tried this product because I was very excited the moment these items arrived in the mail. So I, you know, went right to demoing on myself. I was very intrigued by a bronze nude shade marketed as a blush because I love these shades also as blush. Typically, maybe I would put it on the hollows of the cheek to create a little more structure, but I rather enjoy this shade on the apples as well. And it's very smooth. The cream if applied with a sponge, lays on quite smoothly. So there's no weird things going on like, oh, over powder, that's strange. No, I don't think there's like a weird reaction, you know. Do We Know Her has, I mean, definitely a little bit of vibrancy. Just the powder even is gorgeous. Now I like to go crazy with these types of shades because with Coral, Pinky, anything, I like to create that flush. And that's pretty. I gotta hand it to Patrick. He created a really lovely cheek product. Most definitely. So this is So L.A. This is Do We Know Her. It's so nice. I'm actually gonna go over So L.A. a little bit with these names. Do We Know Her, just to kind of combine it, and that's lovely. What if I put a little bit So L.A., but I use the side of the sponge a little bit and then kind of carve out or just place it more precisely on the hollows. You know, that kind of works as well. Very lovely, very lovely. Now there is a little bit of tack, and when I did try this on my own, I had let it sit for a few hours. I would say if you are on the oily side, I would highly recommend that you set this with a loose powder or maybe a finishing powder, because it doesn't completely dry down matte. There's a little bit of bounce to the texture, which I don't mind, because again, I feel it contributes to that, you know, flushed luminous effect when you're dealing with the cream product, especially for the cheeks. So this could be like my no makeup look day. I wanted to show you one of the Sheer Lip Cream Bombs from Mother Pat. Let's put on some Nude Venus. Her new Divinal formula is a gloss and balm in one. And I love Nude Venus by itself. It's just shiny. It gives a little bit of plushness to the lip. So those are the 4 items, fam. I do have a very strong urge to go back in with my Rose Decadence. I love this palette so much. I just wanted to come on here also and play with it again, because it's just gonna pop in some Hourglass primer, tap it on there with my finger. I've actually have not been carving out under my brows with my primer, because I find this better is applied with tapping it on. You know what I'm saying? And I kind of want to keep this monochromatic look going. So that means I might be doing the same eyes. I desperately want to go in with Hedonistic Rose and Fuchsia Flame. Just that. But I also want to go in with Peach Dusk and Scandalous. I feel Peach Dusk and Scandalous will kind of match up with what's going on here very nicely. Okay, hold on. You can do this. You can figure it out, Alicia. You know what? I'm gonna do Peach Dusk. I can't help it. This is such a beautiful shade. And with Do We Know Her? Stop. Pulling that under the lash line. And I'm pulling it a little low on purpose. I want this to look very hazy. I'm tapping a little more of that Peach Dusk shade on the actual lid, as I want this to be the main hazy smoky color of the look. Taking Scandalous and just pull it over and tapping it and just kind of let it scatter over Peach Dusk. But I'm dying to tap on some Fuchsia Flame on the outer corner. I can't help myself. I'm gonna do that. I love the best. Golden Honey on the inner corner. And although not my favorite thing to do, I will go over what I already have on my lashes with Pat's Dark Star and just hope that the reapplication won't sabotage my look. Just need to give a little more lift so the lashes look like they're there. I love this mascara. Doing the Unlocked on the bottom. Last minute fluff through. And to get a little more pink on the center of the lip, using the Astral Bomb in VR Pink Astral over Nude Venus. Yes. But what are we gonna do on the cheekbones? Guess I gotta apply some pink champagne. Just tap it right there. Right there. Yes. And here's a wide shot of all the products we used in the video. Hopefully this video was helpful if you had your eyes on any of these products. Not to say that you have to buy them now, but if another sale rolls along and they do end up on your wish list and seeing them in action helped you make a shopping decision, well, hopefully this video served that purpose. Do let me know if you picked anything up from the most recent Sephora Welcome Back sale, what you're thinking about getting, what you're skipping out on, and what you bought and you loved and maybe not loved so much. But until then, fam, that is a wrap. Thank you all so much for watching. I hope this video will help. And if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up and maybe consider subscribing to my channel. And until then, I'll see you on here again with another, I don't know, get ready with me tutorial, mini haul, monthly favorites, or nightly live chit chat. Take care, and I'll see you again soon.